Urgent update on the Sydney fire. Heritage building. Odour is devastated. Deodorant bomb theory under investigation in Surrey Hills factory fire. Deodorant bomb. Bomb. It's like a rain bomb. Anything with bomb with it. Gee, sounds really serious. It's one line of inquiry. Arson investigators. They're actually treating it as arson now. I'm looking into. This is very interesting because the way this evidence has been introduced is very, how would you say, creative. As we know, some group of boys went and handed themselves into police. Now, we don't know what the conversations were there. We imagine the police are saying, well, what happened? And maybe they're not saying or they're talking. You really don't know. But to introduce the storyline externally so that the kids there, if they don't make any admissions, you can see where this is going. It's brilliant. So we've got 2GB host Ben Fordham. He's a big player in these sorts of over the last couple of years. He played his part in Minto and a few other ones. His family's a long-time sellout media. His dad was in the media. Anyway, so what he reckons is host Ben Fordham reported that one of the boys who had come forward to speak to police after the incident had spoken to friends who were not there about making a deodorant bomb. So we've got kids that weren't there. They're going to be introducing the evidence. That information was passed on to Fordham via the parents of the other children. So rather than go to the police, they go to Ben Fordham. Oh, what a tangled web they weave. So I'm not going to play it, but Ben Fordham said, as soon as I was told, I contacted New South Wales Police to make sure investigators were aware of it. He said on air this morning, he said investigators were looking at an aerosol can as one line of inquiry. It's amazing. I don't think any arson investigation has had such has had the what's happened laid out for them. There's no investigation to be done. You just got kids turning up. Oh, we were there. Oh, what happened? We're not saying. Ben Fordham ringing up. It was a deodorant bomb. Okay, we'll piece that information together. Let's see where this is going to lead.
A fourth youth was identified by police today, and pressure is mounting for more than a slap on the wrist.
Would it be a realistic expectation to think that there could be potential charges for some of those children?
Yes, it's possible.
So already the media's jumped straight to the conclusion that the children have done it. So what are you going to do with them? People are expecting more than a slap on the wrist. So investigation's over. And he says, well, that's possible. They might be charged. So I was going to say, well, are you looking at anything else? Of course they're not. If you believe this concocted story about some kids at an aerosol can, you believe that Martin Bryant was the one that was the precision marksman popping people off headshots in quick succession, sometimes long distances. That's what Wendy Skur said, and she was there. Throwing deodorant cans on a fire is not new. People have been doing it for years, and here's a video from 6 years ago.
Show you and film you right now should not be repeated at home. This is an extremely dangerous procedure. What we're doing, we've got a fire, and one of us is going to put a fully filled deodorant can on the fire and see what happens. Two members really close to the fire, very brave souls. Hopefully they'll survive this attempt. Do not try this at home, kids.
Holy hell. Chris.
So while you get a lot of light and noise, you don't actually get too much increase in intensity of the fire because those guys just sit there. And after the second or two it takes for the aerosol to finish burning, fire just returns to what it was before. So given that the aerosol combusting doesn't really add much to a fire, it's a big leap to go from, could call it an aerosol bomb that caused this.
What lies beneath the ruins of the building is the real concern.
Now you would think whatever caused the destruction of a one-off, can't-be-replaced heritage building would be the main concern, but no, apparently the real concern is this.
As each layer of this building is pulled down, work will stop to allow police the chance to search the rubble for remains. There are a number of homeless people known to be using the factory to sleep rough, still unaccounted for.
We can't rule out that there were people in that rubble. We can't rule it out.
And there's your distraction. It's amazing the psychology that goes into the news. I've done a breakdown of how they always do things out of sequence, out of chronological and logical sequence for how things happen. So you can't really build the case, particularly if it's a story like this. But I always like to finish it off with a distraction so that the actual main thing, most important part, you're not thinking about at the end of the story. So you're more likely not to go back to thinking about Well, hang on. What about the kids? What happened to them? Oh, no, we're really concerned about people. Oh, yeah, people are in the rubble. Oh, people might have died. That's the real concern here. What a good cocked load of total bullshit. Ben Fordham's playing his part. Anyway, I think they just got a bit of a follow-up to put this thing to bed and then never be spoken of again.